welcome to Thoughts of Treasures. My name's Connie, and this is my craft room. I want to welcome you. If you are new, please remember to hit that subscribe or follow button, depending on which platform you're watching from, to be sure that you do not miss any of my videos that I do upload. It'll send you notifications if you don't feel that you get notifications that way. I also have a Facebook channel and Telegram that you can subscribe to, and I let you know when I do upload one. But just make sure you follow those. That way you're notified. I hope this inspires you. And if you want to see more creations like this, you can always go to thoughtsoftreasures.com. And on there I have my blogs of all of my crafts that I've done and the links to where they're at. So we are going to be working on this little guy tonight. This is our All Flakes welcome sign. I mean, who doesn't love snowmen, right? We love them. We just gotta love them. So we're going to paint this up tonight. I'm going to show you. If you guys are new to me, yes, I do a lot of wood kits. Then they are available for sale as the kits. So if you need more information, you can hit Snowman in the comments and I can get that for you. So with my kits, this might be a start to find that. Whoops. Okay. So with my kits, I forgot to look for that. Some of them are done in 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch. You want to make sure that you properly take all the masking off of the 1/4 inch. So you can definitely tell the size difference between the 1/4 inch and the 1/8 inch. So you want to just put the 1/8 inch pieces to the side. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put them to the side. I'm just going to put them right on tape. There's no sense in putting them to the side and then putting them on tape. So I use this Dollar Tree store painter's tape. I highly do not recommend you using it for your wall when you're actually painting because it's just sticky. So all of the colors that I'm going to do in white, I'm going to stick this over here and you'll see what colors we actually do this. So we got our little snowflakes. We're going to put all them on there. And I might need 2 pieces, so it's fine. I don't want them like stacked together. We're just going to put them like that. Put them to the side for now. I'm going to get me another piece of tape. And we're going to put the rest of our little snowflakes on here. And let's see, is there anything else that's white? Nope, but then we can go ahead and put our green holly. And I might do those 2 different colors. I'm thinking I may. So, and then our little red. And then, of course, our little heart is going to be red also. And let's just put his nose on here. I'm not going to cut for one little piece. So I just like to organize them to where the colors are all the same. So that way when you're painting and you go, oop, yeah, nope, what needs, and then you all have it under control. So now these last two pieces, his scarf and his hat rim, one's going to be black, and I think I'm going to do it red. But you can choose any color that you want. Now, when we get down to the nitty-gritty, all the rest of the pieces are 1/4 inch. You want to make sure that you remove all this masking. This masking just protects the wood. I always like to say this when I do my kits, as of right now. The laser that I do have to mask in order for it not to be so burnt up, I guess is a good word. So, and you'll notice that there are score marks. These score marks are just for definition and placement and things of that sort. On here, it is basically for decoration. So when they're used for decoration or defining things and you want them there, you do not want to paint them with the regular paint. You want to kind of dab them in, and I'll show you what I mean when we get to that. And we're going to pull all that off, and there's our little thing. Now you will see that sometimes on the back, because that's just how the wood goes in, that I have to flip the taping over. So you want to make sure you get it off the back too. Only for the purpose of if you put glue on it or it gets wet, it's going to release. So, and you'll find that out. If you accidentally forget to take the backing off or the masking off and you go to paint, you'll have to repaint. It's not going to damage it. You'll just have to repaint it. I'm just trying to get all these little scaffolds. This is a really cute sign for the holidays. Some people really decorate with the snow people. if you want to leave it up longer for the winter time rather than just for Christmas. Look how pretty that is. It's actually great for that. See, so on the back here, we also have a piece. We just want to make sure. So I am going to paint the back of this. We're going to use the same exact color that I'm going to do the front. So I'm going for a nice blue kind of look. And you'll see how that's all just from the sides. If you want to wipe it down, you can. It's not a big issue, but so I'm going to actually do my back first. I am going to use Nautical. This is a Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint, but I just want that dark blue color. Well, maybe. Oh, I forgot to eat my Wheaties this morning. All right, so we are going to, maybe I need to mix that up. That doesn't look too mixed up. I'm just going to give it a little stir. Like I said, if you are new, welcome in. I do appreciate y'all watching. On here, we do a lot of wood kits and other crafts, just depending on the time of the year or what I'm actually into at the moment. And because of Christmas coming, we will be doing more kits because a lot of people like to decorate and use the wood kits as gifts and such. So just, they're fun too. I'm going to get all this off because I'm going to stick it in the trash can. And I don't want it to fall out of the trash can. Alright, that's much better. So I'm just going to paint the back of this blue. I think this is a very, very pretty blue. I use it a lot during the 4th of July. And we're just going to get the back painted. Seeing if my dog was down here. I thought there was something underneath the table. We're just going to get all painted up. So with any wood kit, you can use whatever colors you want. It can be white. It can, well, I mean, you want to make sure if you want to, unless you want a pink snowman, you can do whatever color your little heart desires. I'm just going to stick with a nice blue background. I'm thinking about doing the technique where you put all the dots all over it, but every time I do that I get it everywhere, so I'm not sure. I might be a little scared, but we're going to try it. I might do it a little bit different and see if it works, and if it doesn't, I'll paint over it. But again, crafting is all about trying, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. When I do these videos, they are recorded. However, I do not do them edited of any sort. So if I mess up, y'all see it. If I paint myself, y'all see it. It's all just about giving a tutorial on the kits and getting my kits out there so that you can see them and be inspired. Now I do other crafts also, just, a lot of my crafting at the moment is about the laser kits. So if you want to see the different crafts that I have done, you can take a look on my FoxyTreasures.com page, and you will see the craft. You'll see a picture of the craft, and then if you click the link, you can actually watch the video. My website, however, is not set up for purchases, but 90% of it is for sale. Let's get this dry, and I'm going to flip it over and do the front. This to me is a very pretty blue. And I think with the white on it, it's really going to be pretty. up here, so it feels like I'm reaching back too far. I have a little holder that I put my glue tool in. And we gotta get that cleaned up holder. It's all dripping down the side. Let's get the front painted up. This paint is rather liquidy for a chalk paint. I mean, it's really nice to work with. Give it good. Now after I paint, I do like to sand it down, not to sand off anything, just to make it smooth. Whenever you paint, you're going to feel a roughness to it. It's the paint and the fibers, and you know, so when you're gluing things onto it, you want to make sure that it's a nice smooth surface. It'll just adhere easier and it'll last longer. Or you'll feel that it's just not sticking right. That's probably one of the reasons. Let's get this. Now, you know what I might do instead? I don't know. I'm still a little, well, you know, we'll try it and we'll see what happens. If it doesn't look right or I can't do it right, then I'll paint it over and we'll leave it blue. But I'm going to give it a try. I tried the toothbrush method. That did not work for me. No. It just ended up, and I'm talking about, have you ever seen the splatters? And that's what I'm talking about. Oh, shoot, I forgot these two pieces. See? I'm going to try them, but I'm going to try it with a chippy brush, kind of like just sprinkling it, and we're going to see if that works. When I used a toothbrush, I had paint everywhere. I'm talking everywhere. So I don't want to do that method. I've decided that that method is not for me. I mean, I had white specks everywhere. Well, let me know in the comments if you guys have tried that with something different. I'm going to try, and I've seen it done, where the paint is lit up very, very thin, where they just kind of like onto it. So I'm going to try that and see how it works. I know. I have great terminology. Now that's all for the blue, correct? Yes. But I do like this blue. This is a very pretty blue. And I think it's going to be awesome with the white snowman. Alright, so let's get this dried. Get this completely dried. I'm going to get my little sanding block, which I'm not sure what to do with it now. There it is. And there is always a rough side and a soft side to this. I'm just taking the smooth side, and we're just very lightly. I'm not taking anything off, but I do see I missed a spot there, so I'm going to go back. And we're just kind of making it smooth. I'm going to fix this one little spot here that I did miss. I'll get that dried again. Actually, I missed a spot there too. So let's just take this little paintbrush. And paint that and paint that. Miss anywhere else? Alright. Now we can close that back up. Now, here comes the fun part. Maybe. Maybe it's the fun part. And I'm just going to take this little chippy brush and I'm going to kind of do this and see if that works easier. The toothbrush, not so much worked for me. Like I said, I had paint everywhere. So I want to do this whole board. I don't want that on there. Get off. We're gonna see. Now I've seen people just kind of shake it. I don't want to. Where's my paint? I'm scared. Let's see. Well, that's working better. I'm painting my finger more, but that's okay. It's okay, our fingers can be... Yeah, see, it needs a little... If it was waterier, more waterier, all right, I'm okay with that. See how it's like that? Got my finger painted, but that's okay. That'll wipe right on off. I think I like that. I think that's going to be perfect. So now while I have the white out, we're just going to let this board sit and dry for a second. But I kind of like that. Just a little bit of speckles around there. It gives you that look. We're going to put that aside. And if you want more, you can do more. Again, I'm just trying a little bit here. That is not one of the things I usually do, so let me get this wiped up. I'm going to put this white on here. I am going to paint all of my little pieces here that are white. We're going to start with this. And I'm just using the apple barrel white. Like I said, maybe if you thinned it down, it would probably be a little bit better for that project, for that technique, but I'm okay with that. I don't want too much because we got a lot going on here. So I am just going to paint these letters, putting a little bit on my brush because I don't want to go over the sides. We're going to have to probably two coats on everything because this is white. And I don't want my back, the spots to be really prominent, yeah, that word. Because all of our decorations on it are going to be in the white. Our snowman, our letters, our snowflakes. So I just wanted something subtle in the background. And that's why I said if it didn't look right, I was just going to leave it. But I'm okay with that. See, trying is better than not doing. And then if I decide after I put the pieces on that it really looks silly, then I'll paint over it. It's okay. Paint covers things. I'm just going to get all these pieces painted. And I know sometimes watching paint dry or watching someone paint very simple things like this, it's not the funnest thing in the world. That's why there's always the little fast forward button. I do appreciate y'all watching, but sometimes you just got to fast forward, and I get that. The more you watch, the more my page is pushed out there, but you know, it's all about what you guys want to watch and what you want. If you're enjoying this and it's something maybe you want to purchase, just message or comment the word snowman, or you can private message me. Either way, it's fine by me. And I can get that information to you on how much it cost and when it would be shipped out and all of that good stuff. Yeah, and we're going to paint these three over here. Not everything on here is green, so I just got my little snowflakes. And then I'm going to go back and I'm putting very little amount of paint on here just because I don't want all the paint to go over the side. I like to have that dark laser look on the side, but if that's not your thing, then you can definitely paint it. Let's get back over here. I'm just going to give this a quick dry. Make sure it's dry. And we're going to go back over here and we're going to paint this back. I think usually 2 coats works well. Definitely one you can start seeing through the wood, through the paint rather. Let me get that straight. And then we're going to go back and get our snowflakes. And I just use this foam brush because you can very lightly just brush on them. I pretty much prefer the foam brush over paintbrushes. I'm not saying I don't use them, I just prefer the foam brush. You get a lot less if you're one that paints backer boards and you get a lot of streaks. I just find with the foam brush it does help with that. Again, my preference. And one last one. And then we're going to work on our snowman. So there are quite a few little pieces to this, but it's not overwhelming. Most of them are like ones, like, unless you do it different colors, snowflakes, white, and things like that. So now on here, we have they're not eyeballs, they're cheeks. They gave you placements for the cheeks. You can do them in pink. Then the rest of him is going to be white. However, his arms are going to be brown, and then his hat up here is going. So they like marked off exactly where the hat is, marked off where the arms are, so that you know where to paint. And I'm just going to start giving him some color. Again, being mindful over here where the arms are. And I'm going to give him a nice 2 coats again too, because I want him to be nice and bright. We don't want dirty snowmen. Now I'm going to try to do his cheeks with this brush instead of doing, but whenever you have score marks, you don't want to get the paint inside of them. You want to kind of, so the best way to do that is to dab instead of brush. And I'm not so much worried about this because there is a rim that goes here. So if but for some reason I get a little bit over, I'm fine. So I'm kind of going to just brush over him lightly in this area and see if I can keep the paint off. I think if you use a paintbrush, it makes a difference compared to the foam brush. But I don't want a lot of paint on here. I'm going to have to put some more paint on there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to brush lightly over top, keeping the paint out. If you use a lot of paint, you're definitely going to get into the score marks. If you don't, there's where we're at now. See how the score marks are still there? I'm going to give this a brush. Put the brush down. I'm going to give this a good dry, and we're going to put another coat on here. I'm going to come up here closer. I'm going to do again just less paint. We might need to do a third coat on him. We're going to see how it looks. He just seems to be not taking the paint as well. And I got okay, let's try that. And I think I'm going to go for a third coat. It just seems a little streaky to me. I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to dry him completely. And sometimes it depends on the wood. You know, you just may need to do 3 coats on one and 2 coats on another. Every wood is completely different to paint. I'm not so much worried, but this doesn't seem to want to cover completely like I want it to. So we're going to see. I think we're good there. Now you will see that I'm going to dry this first. And it's not going to be a major thing. I did get some of the paint in the little circle line. It's okay, I'm going to show you how you can get it out, but since it's going to be his cheeks and we're just going to kind of blot them anyway, I don't want like really circular cheeks. But if you take this same little pick leading tool, you can just go around the circle and kind of just scrape that paint out. Make sure your paint is dry. Do the same thing to the other one. And then we're back to our nice pretty circles. Now, before let's see, if I have a little dauber that's a little too big, let's get a smaller one. I think I like that size, and that will work. We're going to do a little pink color. So I'm going to do let's just go with our pink polish or polish. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what color. It's the pink polish. We're going to do that. So I'm just going to put, and I might want a little bit down. So I'm going to add some white. So I just mixed a little bit. That's all I'm doing is taking some of my white. And then we're just going to work it. And it doesn't have to be all in the area. I don't want it to be super kind of like that. Not in the circle at all. I mean, it goes outside and that's fine. It's just supposed to be a really, I mean, they really didn't need to put them there, but that's okay. We got to do orange for his cheek. I mean, his cheek, his thing, his, all right. So now I'm going to, let's use, deciding on colors. We're going to use nutmeg brown for his arms. You know, and again, just because I'm using this color does not mean that you have to. And I'm going to actually use a thin brush because I want to get close up to this mark line that I can get to without going into the white. And since there's just little small arms, we can paint them up rather quickly. We are going to do his hat black, but I think I'm going to I try to, when I do these kits, I try to step out of my comfort zone and just do things plain Jane. I'm not a painter, I am a crafter, so there's a difference. I'm trying new techniques as we go, and I'm learning new techniques just to give the kits a little bit more character. And I'm doing it live with you guys, so, you know, I'm not the greatest at it, but I like to try them. Do they always work out? Yeah, no, not so much. Get his little arms. Just like that. Perfect. Now I'm going to get some black. And we're going to do his hat. And I got his rim to do. Where's his rim? Over here. And again, I'm going to use another thin brush just because I want to get up. And you know what? I really don't have to, but we are. Get up as close as I can to the white. I don't like that because it's like, I don't like this brush. It's got a piece of hair coming off of it. Yeah, we don't like that brush. That's good. And I'm not going to worry about getting so close. I don't even know why I'm doing that. Just let's see how many brushes Connie can use. Let's get because there is a rim going there, so I'm not really concerned about getting super close. Just want to get this all painted. He kind of looks like, I don't know. Doesn't look like a snowman yet. The hat doesn't do any good. So this is more of a whimsical kind of kit. It's not meant to be, you know, perfect in any way, shape, or size. It's just more whimsical. All right. There's the rim. That's all the black we need. Okey-dokey. Now, while that's drying, put that to the side a minute. I'm going to do these pieces, which we need green, which I'm going to do for the top, for the bottom green. We're just going to use some Christmas green, which is just Christmas green. This is like my favorite green. I really do like it. And let's just paint this. I'm running out of foam brushes. We're going to do the bottom section in the darker green. Then I'm going to use a lighter green. Just to show the difference between the two. Or I could just, let's just like, well, nah, let's just use a different green. I know I have a, what is this? This is a lime green by Folk Art. It's almost empty. I'm just going to I'm going to use the same brush that I have. So, there we got our two green colors. I think it's going to be good. And then I've got an orange nose I need to do, plus I need a red, which I'm going to do. Let's see, let's find a nice orange red. Orange. We're just going to use regular orange for his nose. I'm just going to give him a little orange nose. And the last two pieces are the heart, and I'm going to use, let's use, lipstick red, let's see. let's use real red. This is an indoor-outdoor paint, a indoor-outdoor is gloss, but it's a really, really pretty red. I don't usually tend to use glosses, but I like the matte finish on them. Alright, so that's all the pieces. No, it's not. It's the scarf. We're actually going to do the scarf red too. So that actually worked out perfect. Now on here there is a score mark too. I'm actually, instead of using this brush, I'm going to just use our little, and you want to put on, load off. So as little as possible is on here. So you can do over here first and then go over to your score marks if you have a lot of paint on. But when you pounce, it does not go into the score marks. So you just want to use as little paint as possible. And again, if you want to be more creative with your scarf and put stripes on, I'm just keeping mine plain red. Scarves, of course, come in any color. Just get to the rest down here. So it's kind of like stenciling. Less is more. Just keep that in mind. You can always go back and add more. It does give your arm a workout, so if you're looking for, arm exercises, hey, there you go. And we're going to leave it at that. I think that's good. Now that's all our pieces are painted. I am going to let that just dry on its own. Get some of this paint up. I'm going to go back on my, it's still not dry, so let's dry that real quick. I see some wet part. I'm going to actually use, let me get some white here. And I'm just going to go around him and just give him a little bit of edging. I'm just taking the side of my brush and going around. And I'm going to do the same thing with the rim part. See how it just gives it a little bit of edging around it? I'm going to say, where's the rim part? We're just going to do the same around here. needs to load a little more paint on. It's just going to give it a little bit around there. And I'm going to hold on to that for a second. So I'm going to dry that real quick, and we can start putting it together. And then I might add some more little embellishments to it, or not embellishments, what do you want to call it? You know, this stuff. Little designs to it, I guess you can say, once we have it together. So first I'm just going to lay it out before I glue anything, because I want to make sure. I really like how that turned out. That really is perfect. I think that's good. So, because I might want to put like little stitch marks on these, but to make them stand out a little bit more. We're going to put them on here. I'm just going to line everything up where it needs to be, and then we can glue. So his little hat goes here. And I have to give him eyes too. We will give him eyes. Let's put our... So when you do this tape, also remember to pull the tape away from the letters and not the letters away from the tape. Because this stuff is like sticky, and depending on what you're using. Oh, Flakes, welcome. See, you want to make sure you have everything where it needs to fit. Okay, and then we're going to put our little snowflakes. I'll wait till the end, because I'll just have to retake them off. But I do want to make sure. I think that probably looks about good. Alright, so let's do this first. Let's line him up. Where's the glue? I'm going to be using Super Glue Wood Glue from the Dollar Tree. It is just nice, easy to work with. I've never had a problem with things falling apart. So we're just going to stick with what works. We're going to put this close up here. We're going to line it up. If the glue comes out the side, don't worry. Make sure it looks straight. I think that looks good. And we'll do the same thing down here. Is there a piece of tape? Yep. So see, I forgot to take a piece of tape off the back. We caught it. We're going to do the same thing down here. Now I may take him off and the letters off just so I can make sure that I have things straight. Take your time in placing things. Looks good. Now if you feel that there's too much glue coming out, you can always just take a paintbrush. This stuff will dry clear. So don't, overreact. But I think we're so far, we're there. Now I'm going to glue our little snowman on. I just like to get a little bit of glue all around, especially around the edges. I'm not putting, it looks like there's a lot on there. There really is not a lot. And we're going to place him right up against the bottom here. Make sure he's centered where we want him. That looks good. Then we can put his little rim on. Now let me put the words on, and I'm going to actually use a little dibby dabber of. So I want to make sure that this is on here the way I like it. I think I like that. So I'm just going to pour some. I have a silicone mat down, so don't think I'm pouring it on the table. But these are awesome. They're in my Amazon shop to work with, because I mean, you could put the paint on there if you wanted to. The paint just kind of, gets a little bit out of control with some of the things that I'm doing. But I have in the past put paint down if I'm using one color only, because it wipes up nicely. Now the only thing that I say that does not wipe up nicely, and that's when it's dry, it still comes up, is chalk paint. Chalk paint, when it dries on the silicone, you really do gotta scrape it off, but it does come off. This is an extremely large one. It's a very large mat. I love doing Christmas projects. They're just so much fun. I mean, even this is more winter, but snow people are very happy. And we'll put them all on here. And this is just like a little eye shadow applicator, and it works so well. I just wash them out and keep using them until they fall apart. And again, they're probably in my Amazon shop too. If you're interested in them, because like I said, these things will last. I mean, it's like a bundle of 50 of them, and they last a while. All right. So next, let's put his little scarf on. I put his little scarf on just like that. Not all of that is touching, but I don't know what is and what isn't. Perfect. We're going to put his little heart on down here. And then we're going to work on putting his, this is going to get layered like this. But I think before I do that, get layered up there. I think I'm going to try to get his eyes on, just in case it's in my way. So before I do that, I'm going to put this away. Let me clean this glue up before I stick my finger in it. So for his eyes, I am just going to use this little guy, and we're going to see if it's big enough. If it doesn't look big, actually I'm going to put his nose on though first, so I know exactly where to put his eyes. So his nose is kind of go just like that. And then I'm going to put his eyes, I think, just right there and right there. Well, we're going to do it. And if they're too small, we can make something bigger. I think they're a little too small. Well, maybe just a little too small. Let me move this up. Let's see if we can do something a little bit bigger. And then when I resort to something bigger, I usually do the end of a paintbrush, but I don't want it huge. So we may leave his eyes that big. I'm not sure yet. Let's see how big this is. Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that's better. Much better. So yeah, always use the thicknesses. Every paintbrush seems to be a little bit different. Use the thicknesses. They make perfect little eyeballs. I think it's awesome. Loving it. We can stick that back in there. Now let's get on with our... I'm going to dry his eyes before I touch them. And when I do anything like this, I always dot, every time dot your whatever object into the paintbrush, or into the paint. Alright, so let's see what we got here. We've got some snowflakes. Alright, so let's peel all these snowflakes off and see where we're going to put them. Oh. I'm just randomly placing these. May rearrange them. Move that in so it's not so. Alright, I think I like that. I think I like the placement of those. That'll work. Alright, so let's do this. Let's put our snowflakes on there. And I'm just dabbing a little bit on. So again, this is our little All Flakes welcome kit. If it's something you're interested in, please feel free to comment the word snowman and I can get you all the information that you need. All right, let's put his little that just like so. And we're going to put this in the middle. And then our berries on top of that. Now, I do want to do a little bit of embellishing on this, so I've got my little detailing brush And I'm going to actually put brand new paint in this. We're just going to use some white. Don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to put my brush in the paint, and then we're just going to make some marks down here. I think I'm going to put some lines on his scarf. And I'm trying not to put my fingers in anything. Let's go downward. And I just did there. See? Let's go here. And I'm going to try to fix that a little tiny bit. Let me get another tiny little brush. And just smeared it a little bit. Hold that in case I do it again. Make sure I don't have anything on my finger. And then I'm going to stick let's just do some all right, let me do something first before I decide to do that. I'm just trying to add some little bit of embellishing to it. Alright, and I think we're going to try to do a little bit of like stitch marks. These don't have to be even. And we're going to do the same thing to the top. And then we'll be done. Uh-oh. We forgot a snowflake, see? That's how you tell if you put everything down. Let's see, does anything else fall off? Yep, we cut that one down. Okay, let's go. We gotta glue one more flake on, or one snowflake on. And I'm gonna give it a quick. This is really turned out cute. Like I said, if you are a big snowman person, this is definitely a project you should do. It's great for the holidays. You can leave this up all winter. I'm going to give it a good dry. And this is the final. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you guys would do different, if you would do anything different. I think this is absolutely adorable. I'm very happy how it turned out, so I do want to thank you guys for being here. And like I said, if this inspired you or if you're interested in this, just comment, message me. It doesn't matter, whichever. But please remember to subscribe or follow, because it's when you'll be notified when I go upload another video. So thanks for being here, and you always remember, thoughts become things and things become treasures, and I will see you in the next video.